I was going to start talking about sacrifices because a lesson happened today. Um, and so I knew that nothing's a failure. Most things are lessons, right? So as I got the message and understood the assignment, right, and then the message and reflected on it, um, something told me to do tarot readings. I actually saw the card too hanging out. This on top was like tarot readings. So I said, okay, well, let me talk to the collective about tarot readings. So as I was going to pull the card, confirmation there. As I was going to pull the card, literally thinking about what I'm going to speak to the collective about, um, I pulled it and this came out. You always sacrifice your feelings for others or yourself for others. Same thing. Your feelings, yourself, who you are. Okay? You're always sacrificing for other individuals. Okay? So it just confirms what I need to be talking to the collective about. Okay? That's just confirmation. So with that being said, it says this. And then when I tell you guys the background, you guys will kind of understand what I'm talking about or what I'm speaking on. Okay? And then it says, he knows who you are. So this person who I'm talking about is connected to this. Oop. He knows who I am. So this isn't just, remember we talked about the hierarchy of demons. We've talked about it. There's a hierarchy of them. Okay? Well, some of them are actually in the government system. Okay? And they know who I am. See, I was supposed to be the sacrifice. But they don't understand that it wasn't the sacrifice they were thinking of. See, they thought the sacrifice was, okay, they had a plan and a plot on what was supposed to be sacrificed, how it was going to be sacrificed, and everything, right? However, that's not God's plan. God had a different plan regarding the sacrifice. Just like with Jesus, they thought they had a plan and they plotted, but there's actually another plan that God had in mind, okay? So we're talking about sacrifices. Why do people choose to be sacrificed? Why do people sacrifice themselves? For the greatest of good, right? For humanity. Okay, so the first card that I pulled, you always sacrifice your feelings or yourself for other people. Okay, so you've always, this individual I'm talking about, okay, always sacrifice themselves for another person. Same. For people, for the greatest good, to keep balance, right? In the world, we kind of sacrifice ourselves, sacrifice our feelings, sacrifice things, right? And these people, they know who you are. So people know who I am. They're very well aware. But they want to sacrifice to go in their favor, right? In their plan, right? But they forgot, as they were doing stuff behind closed doors, that everything is still orchestrated in God's plan. It has to still, in the end game, is going to be the path that God chose. Okay? And this could be people in the government system. Okay? People in the government system who thought, right, that they were doing something by sacrificing. Okay? They thought that they had this plan, right? No. No. And this one says, have you felt cold lately? So not only did they have a plan, they tried to delay, right? Because anytime we think about the freezer, we talk about stagnation, stopping, right? They try to delay things, right? Delay the process of your destiny. This has a lot to do with money. Of course, sacrificing always has a lot to do with financial gain. Okay? So far, these are the cards. I know exactly who they're talking about because they told me who he was. They expressed to me who he is. And I say who he was because if only you guys knew what was really happening, you know, because God's plan always is going to win. Okay? But individual, it could be you, collective, who you've sacrificed for many different people, whether they were worthy of it or not, but for the greatest good for all humanity, you sacrificed, right? I know I have. Just me being on this platform is a sacrifice, okay? Because as I'm going through my healing, my awakening, and my different stages of it, I'm talking to collective, which is kind of opening me up to different people, you know, who are jealous, who are envious, who doesn't want my platform to be seen, who doesn't want me to be heard. That's already sacrifice within itself. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So some of us, how we always move is for the greatest of good, which means that 9 times out of 10, we have to sacrifice, right, in order to achieve balance in the world. And some of us have the willpower, persistency, and endurance to do so, and have been doing so, and it's been being at a higher and higher rate, right? So we've sacrificed ourselves on a higher and higher level. So it might start as a small sacrifice, and then it gets bigger and greater and greater, okay? So the ultimate sacrifice, right? And we can always go back to Jesus, right? Because he sacrificed himself by putting himself out there to begin with, knowing how close he was to God. Okay, he sacrificed himself when he did his 40 days and 40 nights alone and then met up with the devil, right? The devil was there. So he sacrificed himself on different scales, and then it got greater and greater and greater, right? Until it was the ultimate sacrifice. Okay, so some individuals who are connected to God are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greatest good of all humanity to bring balance into the world. Okay, to heal different places in the world that may not, it ain't right. Okay, so we're gonna pull some more cards, and we're going to see more about the sacrifice, self-sacrificing, people who sacrifice themselves for the greatest good, for the greater of all humanity, right? Because some of us do so and have been doing so. Okay, whether people want to accept it, see it, realize it or not, it's been a sacrifice, right? Okay, I'm going to pull this, and then these two are here, and then this one's popping out, so we're going to take all of it. The first one I see here is connected to God. Okay, so Jesus was connected to God, which automatically made him a target. Because not everybody's connected to God. Not everybody gets the intuitive messages. Not everybody gets the downloads, okay? Not everybody does. Not everybody has the ability to prophesize, okay? So these are people who are connected to God, who are 9 times out of 10, spiritual burp, 9 times out of 10 willing to sacrifice themselves for the greatest good, greater of humanity, okay? What? It says it's not fun when the rabbits got the gun, y'all. Because everything is always God's plan. Everything is always in God's plan, whether they want to accept it or not. When Jesus rose up and came back, people didn't want to accept that Jesus did that. The Jews didn't. The Jews never accepted that Jesus rose back again. They never did. But it's not fun when the rabbits got the gun. So when things turn in a different way than what they expected, it's no longer fun. It's no longer fun and games, right? When the sacrifice didn't end up being the sacrifice that they hoped for and planned for and plotted against, it's no longer fun for them, right? It's not fun. It's only fun when they have a target, when they have an individual they feel like they're getting over on and pretty much torturing an individual, whether that's spiritually or physically or by of control, right, or domination. Okay, they thought they can play you. So as some people collective, so this message is not for everyone. These are for people who have sacrificed themselves for the greatest of good. Okay, these people thought they can play you. They thought that their plans and their plots and how intelligent they thought they was, right? They forget about God. In the midst of all of this, they forget about God. How do you forget about God? Because they're not connected. See, people who are connected to God, they never forget that everything is a part of the orchestrated plan. Okay? You're right about your sister. So these are family members as well who are going against people who are trying to help and be greater to not only them, but to everybody, to all humanity, to the community. Okay? To heal different aspects of it. Okay? So some people sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Okay? Now, so this is happening right now, right before you guys' eyes, whether you guys realize it or not. I gave the example at the beginning of me just coming on here and the sacrifice I made just by coming and speaking up the truth and speaking what people don't want to talk about, right? And exposing different things, as even tarot readers and false prophets and many things that we have brought to the light on my channel throughout the whole time I've been on YouTube, right? So, but that is on a smaller scale. But there's been greater scales of sacrifices that some of us have the endurance and the strength to do. And we have been doing it, okay? I know I have. And they just gave me an example because today I was like, why did I have to go? Why did I go do? Well, I was, okay, so I went to go do something, you guys, and everything's a lesson. I went to go do something, and did I want to go do it? No. Did I have the time, the energy, or the needs? No, I did not. However, that small sacrifice, it gave me a lesson and had me self-reflect on, wait a minute, I've been sacrificing, whether that's small or on a greater, larger scale, for damn near all my life. And I've been a willing participant in it and being the sacrifice for others, right? So because I self-reflect on my lessons, you guys. I don't just be talking, come up here talking. I practice what I preach, okay? And it says people around you, okay? So this is people that you're around, okay? People that you have dealt with, are still dealing with in the now, in the right now, okay? This is happening right before you guys' eyes. And if only you guys know. See, I don't tell everybody everything about, everything, because there's a greater plan to everything. Okay, I got it. It's a greater plan. So I can't tell y'all everything. Again, I just said, y'all heard me say I got it, because I can't tell you guys everything that's going on. Okay, it's again a part of God's plan. Why am I gonna tell y'all God's plan when we know the enemy's lurking? Y'all think I'm gonna tell y'all God's? No. Do I know it? Yeah. I know a couple things how it's going, what I'm supposed to do in this in the plan, right? The part I'm supposed to play. Okay? But he also is revealing people who's a part of the orchestrated plan. Right? He's revealing it to me. Who is who, what is what, and the hierarchy of it all. Okay? And when I talk about hierarchy, I need you guys to go and remember that John Wick movie, right? After they hurt his dog, right? His spirit animal, his best friend. There's a hierarchy of people he had to get through before he went to the top and went and got the head boss. Okay? It was a hierarchy of them. There's still a hierarchy in the government. There's still a hierarchy with demons. There's still a hierarchy with angels. There's still hierarchy going on, whether people want to see it or not. Okay? Mother did evil eye. Mother did evil eye and isolation spells when you were a kid. That's why you never have long-lasting relationships. So again, your mother did this because she wanted you only to love her, only come to her, right? So this is talking about, hold on y'all. So this is talking about how the reason why you didn't have long-lasting relationships is your mother wanted you to sacrifice your ability and your want to love other people in order for her to feel some type of love. Again, here we are with the sacrifice. Here we are with the sacrifices. Whether you know you're a sacrifice or not, you're a sacrifice to somebody else's ill-will plans. Okay? That's just that's just what it is. Okay? And if everybody turned their back on you like they did Jesus, right? If everybody turned their back, or majority of people turned their back, you would feel like you don't have anybody as you're going through your journey of ascension. Okay? These are what these individuals want people to feel, even though they're doing stuff for the greater of good. They're doing stuff for all humanity. There's people in the way trying to stop that because of their own ill-will plans, like the Jewish people did. Jesus was minding his own business, prophesizing, helping other people, but it didn't go with the plan of the New World Order between the Romans and the Jews. So the Jews, right? They went and they told the Romans what Jesus was doing, even though what he was doing is he was giving knowledge, enlightening people, right? Prophesizing to people, healing people, right? Even though he was doing it for all humanity, all mankind, these individuals still treated him away, still told on him, still plotted against him, all still went against him in some way, even got the people closest to him to go against him. Right? And then tortured him. That was torture. Okay, I don't care how you put it and place it. They tortured him, right? Okay? And so confirmation, right? That's what they did. And so with that being said, He was doing it for the greatest of good, for all humanity. Okay? For all humanity. And that's what happened. So, and this is happening in the now. Y'all saw the cards I pulled. This is happening right now where individuals are doing that. And just like, and I'll give you guys an example. Just like I'm on my platform now, right? For real, like I came on here to help y'all. I don't even get out 1 quarter. I don't get no quarter for this. I got shit to do for real life in real life. Like y'all, and I'm not saying that to say my life is more important than anybody else's, but I really got stuff I'm pushing through and moving through and doing. And I'm trying to give you guys messages, right? Deliver messages to the collective, enlighten you guys, give you guys ancient knowledge and wisdom. And what's happening? People are attacking my channel. People are leaving negative comments, right? People are trying to distract me and leave comments as I'm speaking about important stuff to throw it off, right? These are what individuals are doing, okay, when I'm giving them messages to help themselves heal and get better and know themselves more. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So this is what individuals are doing. Even though I'm helping all mankind, helping humanity. So some of us have always sacrificed for the greatest of good, right? Some of us have actually been doing that for quite some time. But the more we sacrifice, the more we realize not only were we always the ultimate sacrifice, but there is much more greater things that we are to be doing. And that's why I say sometimes I don't have time to come on here, because if only y'all knew. But y'all gonna find out very soon. Because the reason why I was baked, the reason why I was put through certain obstacles and certain things was because I got enough balls to speak my truth. I will speak my truth. It's not like I have anything to hide, right? Because when you do things with pure intentions, right? When you do things for the greatest of good, you don't need to hide, right? So we're going to get more. I'm going to pull a few more cards. There's 2 more. There's 2 more cards here that we're going to see and check out. But I want you guys to go to the beginning when we first started and how what I'm going through I'm supposed to be speaking about. That's why I'm going through them. Okay, the first card is you always sacrifice your feelings and yourself for others, okay? That's what the first card says. You always sacrifice your feelings and yourself for others. They tried to crucify you. We've been talking about Jesus for how long now? How long have we been talking about Jesus, you guys? And what he did for all humanity, all mankind, to make a better world, a better earth, and God wanted him to do that. Right? It was a part of God's plan for the betterment of the world. And what the world do to Jesus? They turned their back on Jesus when Jesus was trying to do what's best for everybody, for all mankind. But they couldn't accept that. They didn't want to allow Jesus to change the ways of why. Why didn't they want Jesus? Why were they so adamant about crucifying Jesus? And all he was doing was healing, helping, and prophesizing and talking about God. Why was Jesus a target just for trying to heal humanity and heal the world? Because the world had a different plan for the world. The world wanted different. The Romans, the New World Order, wanted something different than what Jesus had in mind, what God had in mind through Jesus for the world. So that's why it's either you're going to be about the ways of the world or you're going to follow God. Right? There's a lot of people stuck in between. But the world didn't want Jesus to enlighten people of what really is. Okay? So they tried to crucify Jesus. Well, some of us who are doing the ultimate sacrifice, right? They've tried to crucify too. They've tried to do it. Okay? They've tried to, because they know some of us are going to be persistent about changing the world, right? Some of us sacrifice naturally to help the betterment of humanity, to help the betterment of societies and communities. We naturally sacrifice ourselves, so we naturally are a target because we are connected to God and we're willing to change the ways of the world, right? So I'm going to pull a few cards. Okay, it says you sacrifice your feelings and yourself for others. Now let's pull a few more. Okay, because we're talking about sacrificing, people who self-sacrifice themselves for the betterment of humanity, for the betterment of all mankind. Okay, it says, I'm on my spiritual path. So some of us are meant to sacrifice ourselves. Some of us are meant to be the sacrifice, meant to be the bait. Okay? But then here it goes. If you go into our earlier, when I pulled these cards earlier, it says, it's not no fun when the rabbits got the gun. So just like they're playing with Jesus, they thought they won. They thought they defeated Jesus. But then he ascended, he rose back up. Okay? He rose back up. So I'm on my spiritual path as well. Okay? I know what I'm here for. I've kind of gotten those messages, but this is how you know that these are for people who are on the spiritual path, who's always been a sacrifice, who's always sacrificed themselves from others for the better of mankind. And what did mankind do? What did the world do to the person who's trying to change the ways of the world as a one-man army? Okay, a one-man army. Ain't no 2, ain't no 3. I ain't even got no damn 12. I ain't got no one. But then what happens when one person tries to change the ways of the world? Well, the world who wants to stay and continue to be worldly, right? What they do is they all try to attack that one person who sacrificed for everybody, not just themselves, right? For everybody, because the new world order don't want stuff to change. They want money to keep generating, right? They want to keep, y'all, if only y'all knew how these communities were actually built, and the basis and the foundation that they were actually built on 7/7 on the clock. Okay? The whole family. So the whole family knows you was a sacrifice. The whole family knows that you've always sacrificed yourself for others. The whole family knows that. You didn't just start sacrificing yourself and woke up one day and said, hey, I want a better mankind. It sounds good, but that's not how it went down, right? I'm not going to tell you guys something that just sounds good because it sounds good. Like, y'all got other stuff I could be doing, like, really. If we talking about bettering all humanity and all mankind, y'all think I got better stuff to do? But this prophesizing and talking to you guys about what's going on and enlightening you guys and giving you guys information on, some of us are meant to be the sacrifice to help humanity, whether humanity wants to believe it or realize it. But what it says is, he knows who you are. So the person this person knows who I am, and I know who he is too. We know each other, but on a different, from different ways, okay? Because, and when I say him, this is a hierarchy here. It's a hierarchy, okay? This is from going up and up and up and up until I was like, okay, let me see the head honcho. Let me. Okay, because if I'm making a difference, sometimes if you listen, this is big. This is on a wider scale, you guys. Okay, it says they're going to regret messing with God's angels. You better tell them again. Y'all better tell them again. It says they are going to regret messing with God's angel. Stop playing with me. I know what I'm here for. No, listen. The fuck? They thought they won. I told y'all. I know what I'm here for. Okay, and they gonna regret the day they thought that they was gonna reel me in like bait, and they're gonna send me to fish and the sharks to get eaten, when I was on a mission to do something else. But because they came up in my way, right? Because they infiltrated in my space, right? That was their bad. Just like the Jews got in the way, right? When God was trying to change it from what the Romans was doing in the New World Order, right? People worship the sun or Luciferians. I don't need to say more about that. You already know. If you guys don't know, y'all need to look deeper into it. Trust me, I know. I was a sun gazer too. I've gazed at the sun. Listen, take it how you want to take it. We're going to focus on sacrificing, right? And of course, a lot of Luciferians have a lot with sacrificing, right? Confirmation. Talk about sacrifices, y'all. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me y'all don't read this. Talk about sacrifice. I told y'all, I get on here because I'm supposed to be led, and a message and something, a lesson happened before I got on here, which let me know I was supposed to get on here. Okay, it says talk about the sacrifices. So this is supposed to be brought to the forefront about what's going on as far as the sacrifices are going, and people who are choosing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of all humanity, right? It's for people who choose to do that, right? Okay, here's a blank card. That's 2. That's 3. So 3 people, 4, that's 7. Okay, so these are the people who's involved. Okay, but on a higher scale. We're not talking about low sacrifices anymore. We've done that. We've been there. We've done that. Okay, we're talking about sacrifices on a higher scale, you guys, okay? These are sacrifices for all humanity. So you know, if you're sacrificing yourself for humanity, at first Jesus went, when Jesus was, before he was the ultimate sacrifice, right? Jesus was sacrificing himself by putting himself out there, by healing different people, going to different places, right? And the more he was known, right, the more he helped people, the more he, did different stuff on a larger scale, it made him more of a target, right? Then eventually he became the ultimate sacrifice, or what they thought was. Okay? Because they had an agenda when they did that, because they knew who Jesus was. They knew who Jesus was because everybody else was faking. They was pretending. So they knew that Jesus was the real deal. They knew it. Just like it says on the second card I pulled, it says he knows. These people know who we are. They are well aware. Okay? And they know that their time of reigning is almost over. Oh, we're going to see a lot of that, baby. Sorry, they just said a lot of people are stepping down. They're stepping down. Because they know that, the truth's going to come out and it's going to set too many people free. And there's people who's kept people intentionally in bondages. And it's the hierarchy of it, right? It's a hierarchy of it. Talk about your grandpa and how your grandparents and have generational sacrifices. So it's sacrifices in the family, but it's also sacrifices on a larger scale, okay, with different people, okay? Well, they try to sacrifice another individual for their own gain. Typically, it's money. Have you guys ever tried to figure out how we get all this funding? As far as hospitals get these fundings, different places get fundings. They have to meet a quota. Now, what's the quota they must meet every year? Let's break it down. What's the quota each individuals have to meet every year to get the federal funding? And if that quota goes down, does that mean the fundings go down? Does that mean that their pay goes down? Does that mean that they're not going to get the amount of money that they want because of the federal funding? Because all these places, right, they are funded by the federal government. So they have to meet a quota, which means they're sacrificing a lot of people just to meet that certain quota each year to get the money. Okay, because what is the root of all evil? Let's all say it, class. Money. What is the root of all evil? Let's say it together, class. Money. Okay? So now, let me continue. It says study philosophy. See, there's a lot of illusions going on in this world. Okay? A lot. It's a lot, and most people don't realize it or know it until they actually wake up one day and say, well, wow, what is really going on around me? Right? They have to be inquisitive about it and really take the time to open their eyes up and awaken. That's why it's called an awakening, because you have to wake up from your slumber. Why do you think it's called an awakening? Because at one point you were asleep and you were slumbering. You were in sleep. You were pretty much in a spiritual coma where you didn't know what was going on. Right? And then when you are awakened, you wake up to the truth and what's really going on around you. And so they have you in illusions or philosophy. Okay? It says, what does this card say, y'all? God was waiting for you to find your strength he put in you. Now everyone will see you are not to be fucked with. Let me see. I don't know if y'all can see. Y'all see this? It says, God was waiting for you to find your strength he put in you. Now everyone will see you are not to be fucked with. Drop the mic. Do I need to say anything else, y'all? See, because, Jesus said to forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. I don't say that. I love me some Jesus, but I'm not Jesus. I love me some Jesus. Okay? I am not Jesus. Father, they know what they doing, Father. You see what they doing, Father. Let's give them another chance. He said, God told me that he was going to use me to get for these people's redemption. So even if it's just one person who stood up and said, hey, this is wrong. One person who stood up and said, hey, we should not be doing, just one person. That's all we was hoping for, just one. That's all we wanted, just one, to have some type of hope for humanity. Some type of hope for the world. We just said just one, even if it's just one person. Let's just see that one person. Do y'all think that one person stood up? You think one person went against the grain? You think one person followed their heart? God used me as bait. And not only did they bite off the motherfucker, right? They literally took a chunk of the bait, right? But they didn't realize that that was actually their redemption. That was their redemption. And they didn't have no intention of redeeming themselves because they're okay with what they've been doing for so long. Okay? So now, as we, hold on, baby, let me put you down because we're going to have to, let me get my charger now. But because I don't want it, you guys, I don't want to cut off as we're talking about sacrifices, but I didn't think I'd have that long of a reading today, only because I had no intention of really reading. But because I had that lesson, and I knew that lesson was for multiple people, okay, because when I go through different lessons, again, it's more on a wide scale. It's not on a small scale anymore. Those days is over. Okay, my lessons are typically on a larger scale. Okay, let me just put my charger in, you guys. I know I talk fast, but hold on, y'all, because I'm fixing my thing here so y'all can see me. I have to put my charger in, so we just gonna. The rotating screen is locked. I don't know. Okay, hold on, honey bun. The rotating screen is locked, so I'm not sure if y'all can still see me. 77. Okay. Can y'all see me? Write in the comments if y'all can see me like that. Excuse me, sir. Are you okay? You okay? What's the matter with you, Dewey? What's wrong? What's wrong with that man? What's wrong with that man? Him playing. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see me like this, right? I don't know if you guys can see me like this. I'm gonna just do it like this. Y'all, we backwards. Listen. We upside down. Okay? I don't know if you guys can see me. It says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Great. So now, okay, so I got to keep it like this, y'all. So I'm going to have to face it differently. So that way y'all can kind of see me as I'm talking about this message, because this message is very important because it gets deeper. Okay, this is actually like a series. This is a movie series because y'all pay attention. So my last couple of reads, go to my last 2 lives and check out, because this is actually really going on in the now. That's why the card I pulled was now. I literally pulled a card that said now. Look, right here. Said now, because this is happening in the right now. Okay, this is going on now right before our eyes, whether people want to believe it or not. Okay, so now I'm just going to set this up here, y'all, and we're going to make this short because it's not rotating the way I wanted to. But that's because the world it's came to a completion. It was humanity was given a chance to do better, to do the right thing, and they didn't. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to go ahead and do this message, deliver this message, and of course, somebody want to fuck up my message, but I ain't gonna stop. So if y'all don't see my face, oh well, you guys just don't see it. But this is because this is really important, and people don't want people to know the truth about these systems that are in place, right? It's the ultimate sacrifice, right? Just like they sacrificed Jesus, who was doing what was best for all humanity, they're still sacrificing people who are trying to help and do better for all humanity. Okay? That's why there's a lot of people who y'all think are humanitarians, but they're really not. Because if they were, they would try to put a stop and an end to them. Right? Because they don't really. The New World Order doesn't really want change. They want things to actually be more into their plot and plan of agenda that they had for decades and centuries, right? The forefathers and the founders of this place. God has never left you. It was an illusion. Remember how they say study philosophy? So God has never left you. It was just an illusion. It all was an illusion. God was always with you, and you kind of knew that, but they're trying to make it seem like you're in this world by yourself. Like you're in this world alone. These people are trying to make it seem that way, so that way you don't feel like you actually had the greatest army behind you. They don't want people to see it like that. Okay? They don't want that for other people. Right? They wanted you to feel as though you didn't have it. Right? Well, we all know that we're too connected to God, right? Just like Jesus always knew that God was with him, it's the same with us. Okay? This one's cards for me. Getting stronger, don't stop. So they don't want me to stop. Okay? at all. So I am guided to be doing this. I'm supposed to be coming on here, sharing lessons, sharing different things, giving understanding and enlightenment to individuals. Although, again, here's the world trying to come in and stop because it's not going with their own agenda of money, right? Other tarot readers, other spiritual leaders. It's not going with their idea. It's not going with their plans for money. It's messing with their finances. So what they want other people who are authentic to do is to stop, or they try to slow down information to get out to the masses, because it will then enlighten the masses, where they're not going with the same agenda. They're not going with the same movement of bullshit that's not healthy for them. We talked about this a little bit in the Twin Flame journey last night about a lot of tarot readers and a lot of people want you stuck in the same box, because that's where they get their financial gain from, is in that box. So they'll talk about stuff that pretty much makes them money. And it doesn't matter if it keeps the masses stuck. It doesn't matter if it keeps the masses in a certain place, in a certain wavelength. They don't care, as long as they have their finances. Okay? They also manipulate people. These are different leaders, different speakers, right? They manipulate people. But Jesus, as we talk about sacrifices, you know Jesus had to come up. I've been talking about Jesus the whole way through, and the last card says Jesus. My messages always come together. I told you, I don't just get on here because it's cute or because I need money. Because it took me a minute to get on YouTube and actually share messages to the masses. And I definitely didn't do it for any type of financial gain, okay? But let's keep going. I'm going to give you guys a few more messages, okay? I notice there's a lot of people who come and go on my lives. None of them like it, right? Even though they know if they like something, that it gets more people on the algorithm, right? So I noticed that. So they just want to take the information, but they don't want other people to receive the information. You guys should really like individuals who are authentic, like their messages, so that way other people can hear their messages and have an understanding of what's going on, okay? Because we're enlightening each individual, okay? And how they do it, where it reaches the masses, is by likes. But if you choose to be selfish and just get the message and not share with anybody else, well, okay. I work for God, so that's your choice. It's your choice. You know, so don't be that person who you don't want other people to receive the message, because there's a lot of authentic readers who really need to be on the forefront of platforms, because they're really talking about things that are truthful and honest, not bullshit that the same reader been talking about for 3 or 5 years, buying them a house. Okay, Mother has a savior complex, but she puts people in situations. So people have sacrificed you for their own self, whether that's money or putting people through different situations to make themselves feel more superior, feel better, feel like some type of savior. So it's a hierarchy of them, but you still have family and people around that want you to be the sacrifice for their own selfish gain and selfish reasons, okay? They keep doing spell work. So God sees that they keep doing spell work. My spirit guys see they keep doing spell work. Even though they know that my messages are authentic, they know that my messages are what people in the masses need, they still continue to try to stop, to try to delay, to try to do bullshit spell work, even though they know that when you're messing with me on this journey, you're messing with God. And if you want to make God your enemy, that's a big problem for whoever's doing this. Because it's not me. It's not going to hit me. I can guarantee you none of it's going to work on me. So then who's taking the hit for me? God. Okay, you must be got balls then. These people must have real jumbo balls then. Because God's taking my hits for me. God's taking the spell work for me. Okay? As I continue on my mission. You're right about your father. And I call God my father. I disown and denounce my family, but again, God's my father. Okay? And I know you guys are like, well, but isn't your mother? Because mothers create, mothers listen. Okay, sometimes I call God mother, sometimes I call God father. Alpha and Omega, yin and yang. God is the creator of all creations. It doesn't matter what you want to, how you want to put a label on it. That's just to confuse people. That's just a stamp that society made, that things have to be labeled. I don't have to label God. like people do with society. But I am the rising phoenix, right? Just as we talk about Jesus, just as we talk about crucifixion, just as we talk about sacrifices, I'm the rising phoenix. So how can you sacrifice somebody who's constantly rising? How can you sacrifice a being who just keeps on going nonstop, who keeps transforming into something greater each time? No one can go with you from your past. So no one's coming with me. Okay? So when Jesus ascended, who went with Jesus? Okay? The people who betrayed him didn't. The world didn't. No one can come with me from my past. I'm well aware of that. Ancestors are proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Because they know that I'm understanding that everything I go through is to help the masses. It's to teach the masses. And I understand that now. I understand that, hey, I'm going through these things for a reason. Okay? I've already made an agreement upon coming to this earth that I was going to help be a teacher, a healer, a shaman, and I was going to help individuals. And I'm finally stepping into that and not caring. Okay? I don't care. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And nothing's going to stop me from it. So the ancestors are proud of me for doing that. Because they know that I would rather be doing something else. They know it. And it's not that I'd be doing something more worldly. I would be doing something more to my healing for myself. But they want the world to, certain people to heal as well. And they know from my lessons and my situations I've been through, that is a learning point for another individual. And my ancestors are proud of me for taking the initiative, taking the steps despite what's against me, despite the things I'm dealing with, despite who's watching and lurking, despite all the gossip going on about me, or despite people trying to laugh about the situation, not understanding why I was put in the situation to begin with. They didn't understand why I had to go through that journey. So they laughed at me while I was going through that journey. But they didn't know that God wanted me to go through that journey. So who's the big joke? You get what I'm saying? Because I had to go through certain things to be able to teach and help the masses. I had to. Did I want to? Fuck no. At some point I was like, damn, listen, they don't really need me like that. Listen, I didn't. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I don't be wanting to. I'm me. I'm human. I'm gonna be truthful. But they said still, they put me through it, and I know I understand my position of being in it and why I had to be in it. So that's why I am living in it, and I'm helping other people realize what's going on around them, or helping them get through certain parts of their journey and certain parts of their healing. Because not everything's about healing. Some things you got to really help people out of, right? Some things people don't even realize what's around them, okay, for them to heal. Sometimes they have to witness and see things for them to heal. But if I'm able to be an example for somebody else where they don't have to experience it, but I can just go ahead and teach it to them, okay, make their journey easier, I'll do that. Okay, I can be that person to do that. Can I just be somewhere reading a book? But I know that that's what I'm supposed to be here for. So some of us are sacrificing ourselves for humanity, literally a walking sacrifice. Because we literally are going through lessons to be able to help other people and prophesize to other people. It's in God's plan. Okay? These are blank cards. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm pulling and I'm not speaking on it. They're blank. Okay? They're 2 blank cards. And then I put family try to sacrifice others. So again, we talk about the hierarchy of demons sacrificing. We talk about the world, the ways of the world sacrificing people. Then you got family members sacrificing people. So what damn, right? Everybody wants to sacrifice a person, whether they're willing to or not willing to be everybody's sacrifice, to make them feel good, for money, for greed, or for power. This card comes out. The family is in it as well. Family's okay with it, right? You held everyone's secrets and never once made them feel bad. So I know everybody's secrets. I know what everybody's done in the dark. I know what people do. I know people's real truth. I know people's insecurities. I don't make them feel bad about it, because that's not what why would I make somebody feel bad about what they already feel bad about? Why would I do that? It's a secret because they feel bad and ashamed to tell other people. So why would I be the one to tell their secrets? Right? I held it for them. And I said, hey, you have a confidant in me because I don't have a reason to exploit your business. That's not who I am. And I never made them feel small about whatever they've been through. Whatever you go through on your journey, that's what you go through. We all go through something. You just happen to go through that particular journey. It's okay. I never once made anybody feel bad. Even when you guys watch my channel from beginning to the end. I never made people feel bad, even when we talk about cleaning the yoni. I say it and I express it in ways where it's comedy, where it's fun, where we kind of, having fun with it, instead of making people feel bad, because we all had that time we need to steam our shit. Like, let's keep it real. Okay? So I don't make people feel bad about nothing, because that's not my style of doing anything. Talk about your grandmother, how they tried to sacrifice Grammy. The world, the family, people around her. Okay? This is generational sacrifice. Blank card. All the songs you listened to as a child is related to now. A song just popped up in my head, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it or sing it. It says, I'm taking my freedom, putting it in a song, singing it loud and strong. I'm taking my freedom. Right? You're taking your freedom back. You're standing in your power and you're taking out the freedom, the bondages that they have your people in. My people, the community, people of the community, the bondage, the manipulation that they have these different people in. We are taking our power back, our freedom back, and we're making people aware of, hey, you still a slave, my friend. Hey, you are still in bondage, my friend. We're letting people be aware of what's really going on around them, because some people have been in it so long they don't understand what they are in. Some people are so used to abuse and neglect they don't understand what they're really in. They normalize it as if it's normal instead of realizing, like, hey, I don't think something's not right here. Right? As we talk about sacrifice, okay? They can't kill you, and you know it. Tell them how they tried to kill you. They can't kill you, and you know it. Tell them how they tried to kill you. I told you guys, sacrifice. I've been a sacrifice. To the hospitals, they tried many times. Then when none of their attempts worked, through car accidents, they've tried many times. Through death rituals and death spells, my family tried many times. But they cannot. Because my life is not in their hands. Period. I've already talked to God about it. My life ain't even in my hands. I can't. Y'all think I can just go ahead and take my own life? I can't. Because God already has power and control. Tell y'all think this is a joke? I told you, I know my mission. I know the assignment. Okay? I know the assignment. But they did. They tried to sacrifice you for their own personal greed and gain. Says she understood the assignment. I can hear it. She understood the assignment. It's so funny. Just look. Okay, it says keep going on them. They want me to keep going about the sacrifices. Keep going about the people who are involved in the sacrifices. Family. So some family members are involved in these sacrifices. How do they think they know about your spiritual gifts and your ideas and stuff? How do you think the world knows? Before you got on a platform. Some of you guys don't have a platform. Some of you guys do. But how do you guys think the world know about all this stuff going on in your family? Your ex even knows. The ex is working with the family. But I understood the assignment. I don't care who they're working with. I understood the assignment. What do you mean? Like, you're fine. I expect you guys to work together because you guys are a part of the worldly ways of the world and a part of money, greed, materialistic stuff. So I don't doubt that not one bit. We're going to pull these cards and I'm going to let it close at that because I want you guys to like the video so more people can actually see my lives and see the messages. This keeps falling because y'all it's on the charger. That's why you we here. Okay, it says the house grandma was supposed to be was for Brandon, my cousin, my oldest cousin, my first cousin. It was supposed to be for him. But they sacrificed it thinking that they was going to get the house. They didn't know it was already set in stone who was going to get the house. They didn't think that far. They didn't think my grandmother already had made the decision and changed the will and said who gets it. See, they all thought, right, that they was going to sacrifice her and they was going to get her house, her money, her clothes, her jewelry. And it was all going to go to her or go to my family. And they was going to divvy it up how they wanted to divvy it up. But they had no idea who that deed really went to. And once they found out who the deed really went to, then they went ahead and my grandpa willingly sold the house. Did grandpa ever pop up here? Because grandpa willingly sold the house because he knew that the house was not going to him. He knew that he was not going to get what he wanted ultimately. So he did all that for nothing. All the stuff he did and put the family through was for nothing, because in the end he didn't get what he wanted. Again, here we go with Jesus, right? When the Jews and the Romans came together to try to crucify Jesus and put it in and stop the Jesus, he ascended, he rose up after 3 days, right? Confirmation with the car. See, so they had a plot and plan, and they planned and they plot didn't work. Okay? Because he understood the assignment. Yes, it happened. It was supposed to happen. It was divinely orchestrated. See, God knew the hearts of these individuals. Jesus was coming down to redeem these people. But they didn't want redemption. They still held on to the worldly ways of the world. They didn't seek redemption from God. So when these individuals like myself sacrifice for the best of the world, for the good and the greatest of the world, for the redemption of individuals, and the individuals turn on the sacrifice that was for them. They turn on their own redemption. These individuals turn on their own redemption, because God was their redemption. They turned on him. I mean, Jesus was his redemption. God, Jesus, listen. Jesus was his redemption. Okay? Everyone is lying. If you want to know who's lying, everyone. Because things are deeper than even I know. And I know on a real deep level, I know. But it even gets deeper than that. Okay? Because I know a lot deeper than the ocean, but I don't tell you guys all that I know, because this is God's individual plan. What's this card keeps popping up and looking at me? This card keeps looking at me, so we're going to go ahead and see why it keeps staring at me. What's it say? So keep going. What did I say? Didn't I tell you guys I was the redemption? And people who self-sacrifice are usually redemption, like Jesus was their redemption. A chance to redeem themselves. Okay? It says, so keep going, girl. You got this. These are the angels. These are my spirit guys saying, keep going. I got this. Okay? Because everyone's lying. Mother only raises kids for money. She never been nurturing ever. She fakes it for a check. These are individuals who are not nurturing individuals, loving individuals, caring individuals. But these people who are in government places, they're doing it for a check. Teachers, doctors, pastors, preachers, social workers, dentists, who else? These people are doing it for money. They're doing it for a check. They're not doing it because they really care about humanity. They're not doing it because they care about society and communities in the world and trying to better people for the highest good. Try to better and enlighten individuals. That's not why they're in their position that they are in. They are in their position because they chose to get a check. Because they're about the worldly ways of the world. Everything's about money. Okay? That's why they have it in place. That's why it keeps generating. Different places in different systems, and they keep that money generating based off of somebody's social security number, because that's why every time you call and try to get services for something, you need your social and your birthday. Okay, because it has to be okay, just like quotas, it has to be a person, but how they track people is with the social. Okay, you figure out their plan in the middle of their plan. So everybody's trying to plot and plan against me, and I figure out their plan. See, because we're connected to God. When we're doing stuff for all humanity, all mankind, right? God lets us know what's coming up in our journey. What's to happen next. They can't figure me out. So they're trying to figure me out. They're trying to guess my next move. They're trying to guess everything, and they can't. What card is this popping out looking at me? You allow God to use you when you didn't know what the fuck was going on, but you knew God, and you trusted in God, and you walked by faith. So just like Jesus had walked by faith, did he exactly know to the T every detail of the plot and plan as a prophet? Probably not every single detail. But it's okay, because he knew God had a greater plan, okay, during the sacrifice. It says God still loves me. So even though I went through all that, yes, I've made mistakes going through them on my journey, okay? But God still loves me because of where my heart was at, okay? And where my intentions was at. Now, these people have to ask themselves, do God still love them after they tried to go against their redemption? Does God still love them after he just sent somebody else into the world to help the world, and then they turned their back on them and tried to sacrifice them? They got to ask, does God still love them for that? again, because they made the same mistake again. How many times do we have ascended masters throughout life? And people keep making the same mistake, but want redemption from God, want to pray and ask God for forgiveness. But they won't look at themselves and realize, like, hey, I keep making the same mistakes over and over again, right? How are you going to ask for forgiveness for the same sin over and over again, knowing you're sinning, knowing you're doing it, okay? So if God's sending certain people into this world and other people are trying to take them out, well, they got to see if God still loves them for what they've been doing. Why God trying to mess up God's plan. Okay? It says, don't stop no matter what. Don't stop. This is the same card that came out before my lesson of sacrifice came to me before I got on here. Because it was a lesson I had to physically and spiritually go through before I got on here. And this is not just talking about the hospitals. This is not just talking about the government. It showed me today even a small sacrifice, and how I've always been sacrificing for the greater good of individuals all the time. Whether I was tired, hungry, happy, sad, whatever, how busy I am, whatever I was doing, I always came forth to help the people for the greatest of good, even while me coming on this platform. I was constantly being delayed, attacked, and people lurking, people spying, people trying to get information, all type of stuff. I still come on here, okay? Even though they already call me crazy and all type of stuff, still come on here and give messages. Because again, I dare them to try to take me to court about my spirituality. Oh, I dare them. I'm going to let God represent me on that one. Okay? Another blank card. I'm going to pull like three more cards about sacrificing and self-sacrificing for the good of all humanity. Okay? It's time to bring balance in the world. Y'all, come on. Come on. It says it's time to bring balance into the world. This is why people God has certain people come into the world. Right? Certain people sacrifice because it's time for a balance, right? When Jesus came into the world, it was because he was trying to pretty much bring balance to it. He was trying to get people more connected to God, and not with all the war and the killing that the Romans were doing, that the Jews was allowing them to do. Well, I'm going to say allowing, but the Jews was grouping up with them to do. Okay? He was trying to bring balance into the world, healing, love, right? Enlightenment. And what did the world do to him? Blank card. It says, "Get behind me, Satan." So as in this infamous saying from Jesus Christ, is when he was going through his 40 days and 40 nights, right? Finding himself, going through the darkness and finding himself. And guess who decided to pop up? And you know what he said to him? You better get behind me. I'm on my journey. I'm on my path. No, not on the side of me. I see you. I said behind me. And Jesus kept on going. Yeah. Because the devil was trying to get in front of him to block him and stop him from his path and his destiny. So he said, no, you can't even be on the side of me because we ain't equal. Get behind me. Because I'm going on to my journey. Whether you're going to be lurking or not, whether you're going to try to be in my way and cause delays or not, I will continue on my journey, on my path, because I know I got God. So anybody who comes against me is going against God, and that's a battle that nobody can stand against, period. Y'all, this say, your new partner is going to love you. He knows of your battles, and you're undefeated. Well, hopefully he don't see my hair like this. I didn't do it today. Okay, but you will have a new partner. It also says keep a positive attitude. See, and that says about a website about business, y'all. Create a business or continuing creative adventures. And it says keep a positive attitude because you will have a new soulmate. This new person is coming in, and he'll know about your battles. He'll know about your spirituality. He'll know that you've been undefeated against these demons, these hierarchy of demons that could not defeat you, who tried their hardest, their darndest, did every trick in the book. I'm hearing them say. They did every trick in that book. They went over the book over and over, trying to sacrifice individuals. And when what didn't work, they tried again, and they tried something else, gather people. But he knows. He knows of your battle and your struggle. He knows you are a warrior princess. Okay? He knows that you're a warrior princess. Because you've always been hidden in plain sight. I know I have been. That's why I'm okay with people like not seeing me, because I was always hidden in plain sight. Okay? But if you don't seek something, you'll never find it. But I was definitely always hidden in plain sight. We're going to end it there. Pull two more. They thought they were winning, but you were healing. As you were going and you're hiding in hibernation like a bear, you're in hibernation, healing yourself, putting yourself in a spiritual coma and healing. These people thought they were winning, right? But they didn't know that the bear was gaining its strength. So when the bear came out, the bear was coming out claws full ready. Because he had went through that healing phase. He went through that hibernation. He went within himself for a period of time within that cave, within the darkness he went. And then he came out that darkness and he was ready. He was ready to eat, to hunt. He was ready. Okay? They so funny. He was ready. Literally. Okay? It says, but success. You'll have success. When the bear comes out of hibernation, has he lost? When the bear comes out of hibernation after resting, right? After healing, right? After being in the darkness for a period of time of silence, he came out successful. Hungry, but successful, right? So we're going to end it there, you guys. It's a great way to end your path and your journey with success, baby. That's the best way to end self-sacrificing. The best way to end the journey and the spiritual awakening with success after your healing. You see what I'm saying? After you went within. You come out of the darkness successful. Okay? You come out of the plots and their plans successfully. And that's what they weren't banking on. So we're going to end it there, you guys. Oh, spiritual burp. Dang, that one was for real. Okay. So we're going to end it there. Okay, we just dropped the mic with that spiritual burp. Okay, you guys if you guys are watching right now, like my video so other people can see. Because we want other people to be enlightened and know this information. Okay? I don't get paid for this, so I don't care about views and stuff like that. But again, if I'm coming on here to sacrifice myself for spiritual attacks, for people knowing the knowledge I have, becoming a target, we might as well let everybody else know this information so we can better all humanity, not just better each individual. A community is built up of individuals coming together. That's a community. It's a whole bunch of individuals. So if we can get these messages to as many individuals as we can start changing the humanity, changing society, changing the vibration of the earth and the world. But we have to do it we have to want each other to do it. Okay? Because I can just do the healing by myself and go like a bear and hibernate. But as I'm going through my healing, I still come out every now and then to help the masses. Okay? But if you guys like the video, it'll get to more people. Okay? So that's just how we're going to put it there. Because God wants my messages to come out. As you guys always see, my messages are in tune with what I say before I even pull cards. So my messages are supposed to be, and it even said talk about sacrifices as I pulled the cards. So I know that these messages are supposed to be for the masses. Okay, it's supposed to be for people. If you guys really want to change the vibration, change the ways of the world, change and have more people be awoken and wake up and really be in tune, then you guys have to start liking and participating with authentic readers. Okay? So that way the messages can get out to more and more people so we can start changing the ways of the world. Because I'm telling you guys, the redemption, people have not redeemed themselves. They have not. And the world is almost, you look what's around us. The world's almost coming to a close. And there hasn't been enough redemption. Trust me, I know. I talk to God about, yeah. So let's try to get this message out to many people so they can really start self-reflecting, going within, right, and coming to their senses or their awakening. Okay, so that way they can find redemption, understand what they were put through, why they're put through it, and what they can do next to better themselves and to work with society, work with the masses, right, and to get on their soul purpose and their soul mission, whatever that may be. We're going to end it there, you guys, because I want you guys to focus on the message. Okay, so let's just always focus on my messages. Okay, you guys have a great one. Bye-bye. Make some tea.